Hi. How many of you have ever thought about a friend that you haven't spoken to in a while, and then 10 minutes later they text you? Or maybe you have a dream about someone you haven't heard from in a while, and you reach out to them the next day and you find out that they're going through something and they really need a friend right now? That's happened to me a lot. I like to think I'm psychic, but science actually has a really good explanation for this. It's called quantum entanglement. So in quantum entanglement, scientists have discovered that you take two particles, any two particles, connect them together, and each particle, once they separate, takes part of the original particle with them. So two particles come together. When they separate, they each have a part of the other particle with them. So that means that if something affects one particle, it's going to affect the other particle, no matter if they're 10 feet apart or 1,000 light years apart. It's pretty amazing, right? So what if that same theory pertained to relationships with people? What if every time we connect with someone, we take part of that person with us, and they take part of us with them? So I'm going to tell you a funny story. I went to college in upstate New York, where I met a man named Sed. And Sed and I became really good friends. And the types of friends that we used to watch movies together. He'd come hide under my bed if he was trying to hide from his fraternity brothers. You know, my meal card is still full, but we're at the end of the semester, let's go get some food kind of friend. So anyway, after college, I left and I moved to South Carolina, and Sed moves, I don't even know where. Okay, he moves away also. This was like before cell phones, or like you had a cell phone, but you had to keep switching carriers, so you never had the same phone number. So yeah, that kind of friend. So we lost touch. So about 10 years later, I had moved around to several different places, several different states. So I lived in South Carolina, North Carolina, I came here to Connecticut, I moved to Boston, and the company I worked for in Boston moved me to Long Beach, California, which is, you know, the other side of the country. So anyway, I had lived there for about 2.5 years, and one day I was standing on the corner outside of a restaurant talking on my cell phone, and at that time, you know, I'm just standing there not paying attention, and this man walks up to me, and he walks right up to my face, like inches from my face, but he's wearing sunglasses, so I have no idea who this man is. So he whips his sunglasses off, and I realize it's Sed. So here's this man that I haven't seen in 10 years, and he's living in the same city I am, thousands of miles away from where we first met. Okay, so after we're jumping up and down and, you know, running up and down the street, can't believe our fate, can't believe we found each other, I find out that we've lived 2 blocks apart for 2 years. Okay, so people like to say, like, this is one of those small world stories, okay? I mean, I don't believe it's such a small world. There are 8.5 billion people in the world, so running into someone randomly like that is pretty rare. So the way I like to look at it is this quantum entanglement, or quantum connectivity. We each take a part of each other away from our situation, right? So when you're interacting with someone, you take a part of them with you, and they take a part of you with them. So that being said, this quantum connectivity, would that change the way you behave on a day-to-day basis? Maybe you would have a longer conversation with that person at Starbucks. Maybe you would be kinder to a stranger. Maybe you would be more open. So the next time you're in a situation where you meet a quote-unquote stranger, I want you to think about that quantum connectivity and see how you can maybe connect on a different level. Thank you.